So John, finally, hopefully this Saturday, touch wood, you'll get a chance to take Gills the hot seat for the first time. Just give us your thoughts going into the game.
Yeah, it was frustrating last week, you know, everyone was geared up for it. I think the fans were as well, and I just hope that they'll retain the enthusiasm. And, you know, Saturdays are a special day for me anyway, but, you know, when you're in charge for the first time, it's even more special. And it's pluses and minuses. We've had a little bit longer to work with the players. But on the flip side, you know, we were so geared up for it last week. It's frustrating. But, you know, it gives you time to think, digest things. And, you know, things aren't going to happen overnight, I think, but I think the fans deserve to see some shift in mentality of the players. And I'm not having a go with the previous management here or the ones before them. But I think the players have got a duty to start standing up for themselves, standing up and be counted, and repay the fans, you know, back what they deserve really. Because I said last week, you know, this day and age, money's tight, and people are choosing to spend the money to see us. It is an entertainment business. The least they deserve is to see people running around and showing passion and desire. And through all my life of being involved in football, I think that's the thing that's come across the most. So hopefully we can show signs of an improvement, and I'd like to see us attack more and score more goals and make more chances. Everything I want to see as a fan, although I'm not a fan obviously, but deep down I am, and so I want to be enthralled. I want us to excite them, and I want them to excite us.
When you chuck all those feelings into the mixer, all the butterflies be going at 5-3 when you step out of the dressing room onto the pitch?
Butterflies are already going now, to be honest. I love it, and yeah, I can't wait for Saturday to come. And then you'll have the various problems that you've got to overcome, and that's the part of being a manager. When you've done it for so long, it seems to be like riding a bike. You know, you get back on it quite quickly. I found that with training this week, you know, picking up things, watching things, stepping in now and again to make me point, looking at games, you know, trying to analyse where we can do better, where we're doing well, you know. So it's not all doom and gloom. And yeah, the thrill of the challenge, the thrill of the chase, it makes you feel alive.
Just finally, what players come back into the group, if any, for this game? I think Conor Martinson would have missed last week, perhaps.
I think Conor's just a couple of weeks off. I think Ollie Hawkins is back this week. I think that's about it, yeah.
Cool, lovely. Gaffer, thank you. Ben?
John, I think before or when that game was called off, the managing director tweeted something along the lines of, you know, a festive analogy about how disappointed you were that the game wasn't.
Yeah, it felt like Father Christmas got stuck in the chimney, and I was like a kid waiting for Christmas Day, to be honest. And so possibly it might be better the longer you've waited for something. But as I said, you know, we've got 23 games to really try and get our mark onto our identity onto how we want to play. And you know, if the players don't play the way we want them to play, some of the players are going to have to play, because, you know, I need to see progress. I need to see a style of football that excites me, that enthralls me, and that is high energy. And I think if players aren't prepared to do that, they won't be playing.
And you have got plenty of players to pick from, and the fact that you played a full 11-a-side game, you even had them in full kit as well this week, I guess is testament to how many players you have to pick from as much.
Yeah, you know, we left a couple on the sideline today in shape. I think that's healthy. But, you know, I wanted to get a handle on the players playing on the pitch. And I think when they put kits on, they tend to take it a bit more serious, shin pads on and all that. And it gives you a few ideas. We can film it as well, so we can go back and show them things that they've done well and things that they can improve on. And I think every day should be a learning curve for you. And I think, you know, every day is a school day. You've got to keep on trying to educate yourself. You've got to keep on trying to better yourself. And a little bit more knowledge every day helps, certainly helps when you come into new surroundings. And the players have got a wonderful opportunity now to go again. Let's see if some of them take it.
You've made a new signing since we last spoke to you. How has the young man that's come in from Crystal Palace done in training so far? What have you made of him?
Really good. You know, he settled in quite well. I think when we get him up to full speed of playing League 2 football, I think he will excite the crowd. He can take people on, he can go both ways. He's got a terrific shot in him. And he's just a game lad and a really nice lad.
Do you think that maybe at first he might be more of a sort of impact sub for you, then trying to move him into a starting position?
Well, I'd be telling you what I'm going to be picking there, won't I? And I learned very early on in my managerial career, don't show your hands on a Thursday. No, he can go both ways. We can either start him or we can come on, and I've got no problem either way. I think he'll make an impact in the game.
And are you looking to still make more signings? Any in the offing? I
am looking to make more signings, and spent a lot of time in the recruitment room, and they are working really, really hard. I think, you know, it's easy from the outside looking into to poo-poo at recruitment department and say, oh well, you know, they're not doing this. It's more or less 24/7. They're never off the phone. They never stop watching. They go to games. They watch games. They're working ever so hard to try and get the best players possible for us.
And obviously as well, the previous manager put out a statement via the LMA saying he expects the team to improve in the second half of the season, owing to the fact that you've got a lot of players fit, and that was something that has kind of hampered the team so far this season. But the fact is, you know, a lot of the guys that have been out are now fit and available to you. For example, Bradley Dack, who is obviously a player who's played at a higher level as well. How influential could he be for you?
He's a talented player, there's no getting away from that. And if he keeps himself fit, you know, I'm sure he can light up our crowd and light up the pitch. But that'll be down to Brad.
And obviously you still want to, you know, as you said last week, do something with the season, look to try and aim towards the playoffs. And I guess Doncaster Rovers are the example of that, aren't they, from what they produced last season?
Very much so, they're the blueprint. I think Salford have become the blueprint for this season, but they were the blueprint last year, and I watched a lot of their games and I've seen how well they climbed the table just by playing solid football and getting into a system that they understood.
A tough first game in charge, perhaps?
Whoever you play, I think every game you play is going to be tough. There's no easy games in football. And when you start thinking that they're easy games, you really set yourself up for a fall. So we do our due diligence on the opposition, we do our due diligence on ourselves. And I don't think for 1 second I'll ever take a game easy. And I won't be 100% focused. I mean, people say, oh, we're 110%, 120. You can only be 100% of anything. And if I'm playing a game of Ed Tennis or a game of Monopoly, I can't want to win any more than what I want to win. And I've had that since I was a kid, and that won't change. And so I want to win this game as much as I've wanted to win any game in my life. And then I want to win the next one, exactly the same. So my levels don't drop or go up, they can't go any higher. I've hit the ceiling in will to win.
As you kind of alluded to, does the fact that, you know, although you have had to wait the extra week, does that mean you're that extra bit prepared? You just got to know the players that little bit more?
I think so, yeah. I'm also a bit more like a caged animal, so wanting to get out there, and I hope the players like that as well.
An early kick-off as well, so you've got to make sure that you know get your routines in a little bit.
Well, yeah, you know, sometimes it is. Some teams don't perform particularly well, and you can even look at the top flight. Liverpool had a spell where they were kicking off at half-12 and couldn't buy a win. I think if you start talking about that, you start getting psychologically into people's heads or having a psychological influence on it. It's the same for both teams. We're going to play for 98, 99 minutes, and we'll be giving it our all for all that time.
Well, best of luck for trying to get the result.
Thank you.
You had a chance to assess the squad quite a bit now, John. Are you able to tell us what areas you sort of look at that maybe to strengthen?
I'm looking to strengthen all over, and I think the minute that you don't... funny is a funny industry, really. Football is a funny industry, so in the fact that you try to get people to do the jobs to the best of their ability, but you're always looking to replace them. No, there's not many industries that do that. But that's the nature of the game, you know, if you stand still, you go backwards. So Yeah, I am looking to strengthen all over. As the club are always looking to get better players in to compete, you know, at the top end of the table. And what we will be doing, you know, we've spent a lot of time, we've passed on a load of people that we could have signed. And I think that's just as important, and people don't realise that for every signing that you make, you've got to maybe dismiss about 30 or 40. And I had that with Accrington, you know, when we got signed Colby Bishop and Dion Charles. And people don't see the people that you dismissed to sign them in the first place, you know, so. But I think if we feel that players can come in and make a difference to us, we'll be open to sign them.
Well, is there likely to be another person in before the weekend, or is that on?
I'll never say never, but the mechanics of one or two players that we think we're going to get might make it difficult for the weekend.
Yeah. What would you like to have the new lad, Ash?
I just love people who can dribble and run with pace and go both sides. I couldn't beat an egg as a player, mate, so I just got the ball, passed it and got in the box and scored, or tried to score. So people who've got the ability to take people on have always excited me. And I think he gives us something that we haven't got really. I know we've got players who can do that, but he just gives us something slightly different.
Doncaster obviously made 2 or 3 new signings themselves, some exciting new players, so they're a bit quite sure we can get them.
Yeah, we don't know what we've got an idea on how they'll set up, but we don't fully know their team. Nor should we, to be honest. And so we'll be prepared for each eventuality that can arise with the new signings and without the new signings.
I think Grant can say he's in the dark a bit. Does that give you a bit of an advantage?
I don't know, we're all in the dark at some point in your managerial tenure. He's probably in the dark about how we're going to play, that's for sure. But we'll see what 5 o'clock brings on. Well, not 5 o'clock, it'll be tomorrow. It's 2:30 now, isn't it? 2:30 brings on Saturday.
Good job.
Without asking, obviously, I'm not going to ask you to name names because you won't, but has your team selection for Saturday changed from last Saturday?
Good question, that, because I asked myself that on Monday, and I said to Jimmy, I said, do you think come the last training session on Friday we'll have a different team? And we did chat briefly about it. Possibly one or two maybe, but not more than 1 or 2.
Have you been impressed with what you've seen?
Yeah, I've been impressed with the quality, the way they handle the ball. I think we can tighten things up a little bit. I think we're still, even in training, we're still a little bit guilty of giving the ball away unnecessarily. And that's something that we have to tighten up on, but there is a lot of quality in the team. And the squad, sorry.
I know you spoke about social media last week, and obviously the advent of it while you've been a manager. Does this time of year with the speculation, where you see names out the blue linked to going to other clubs, do you just totally ignore it or just accept it?
You have to accept it. I mean, one of the things, because we've only just made one signing, and fans, and I know myself, and I'm a Liverpool fan, Liverpool sign no one, and fans are looking at Sky Sports News and they keep on a loop in it. I think it's a way of just getting into your brain, but it's on a loop, and they've signed them, and they've signed that, and they've signed that, and you get carried away. The big thing I learned, and you can't make signings just for the sake of them. If they're not going to improve your team, don't sign them. Now, I had one season when I couldn't sign anybody and I had to sign players that possibly weren't the right ones for me at Accrington, and that was this season we got relegated from League One. I simply couldn't make any more signings. I vowed from that day on, and that was the only season I ever did it. I vowed I would never make that mistake again, and I certainly won't make that mistake here. So, if we haven't got enough players and I can't get players who I think will make a difference, I'll go with the low number of players rather than fill a squad out with players who won't play.
Have you actually met Brad and Shannon yet?
I've met Shannon, I've spoke to Brad a few times, and hopefully I'll meet him next week.
What's your first impression of them?
Lovely people, humble people, a strong desire to see this football club succeed, as I think there's a lot of people in this building who is in the same, or have the same ilk, and it's good that you can have open conversations without fear of of people talking you down. Everybody is respected, and I'm a big on that, mate. As a manager, I think I try to empathise with people. I try to respect people's opinions, and I like to see people be respected for the job that they do for the football club, because ultimately we're all doing the same. We're all in it for the same thing, which is to try and see this club promoted. And people don't realise that it might be someone who's serving the dinner, it might be someone who's cleaning, it might be someone who's washing the kit, it might be someone who's supporting the physios. Them all little, well, it can seem like little roles, it's big roles that people are doing. They all stack up to one thing, is pushing. And if everyone pushing forward, and if everyone's on the same page, not only does it create a positive atmosphere, but you have a feeling of worth, but you also have a feeling of achievement when something is achieved. And I think when a lot of people work hard to achieve something and it is achieved, it's a wonderful feeling.